Have you ever wondered how to turn a product feature into a draft, structured set of user stories without spending hours brainstorming? Well, in this video, we're going to explore how to craft a powerful ChatGPT prompt that can automatically generate detailed, estimate ready user stories for a given feature. Whether you're a product manager, business analyst, scrum master, or product owner, this technique will save you time, improve clarity, and ensure consistency in your backlog grooming process. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to guide ChatGPT to deliver well-defined user stories that align with Agile best practices. You'll walk away with a reusable framework for prompt creation. Let's dive into the steps of building that prompt. In this slide, we are going to write a prompt for the task at hand. A ChatGPT prompt that converts a feature into a corresponding set of user stories. So let's go through each step by step. Obviously, we are going to use our general prompt structure template to write this prompt for this particular use case. This structured method helps ensure consistency and clarity. In the first step, what I've done is asked ChatGPT to assume the role of a product manager, because product managers tend to do this kind of work. Product managers or product owners who typically identify and write the user stories within a feature. The next step in the prompt is describing the project or product at hand. In this particular case, we are writing this feature for an Amazon-style book-selling website. Providing this context helps ChatGPT generate more relevant outputs. Then, in the next step, we are generating various sections that we want in the response to our prompt. In this case, we want a list of stories that ChatGPT will generate along with a corresponding estimate for each user story. All these stories should correspond to the book search feature. The key idea here is to have ChatGPT generate a list of all user stories related to the book search feature along with an estimate for each story. We are also telling it that the feature belongs to an Amazon-style book-selling website, which gives additional context to the product. This ensures the generated stories align with the product vision. We are skipping the step of writing the name of our framework author. This step has already been completed, where we've provided context to the product or project. Next, we introduce some additional parameters, quality parameters or extra information. For example, we want each user story to follow the invest principle so that each story is testable and independent. We also want the estimates generated by ChatGPT to be in story points, where each story point is equivalent to 1 day. This enforces Agile quality standards in the prompt output. Additionally, we've specified that we don't want any story to exceed 7 story points. The reason for this is to ensure that each story fits within a sprint. Assuming it's a 2-week sprint, the maximum size by thumb rule we can take is 7 story points. This keeps stories deliverable and sprint appropriate. That's how we have constructed our prompt for this use case. The blue font content is what you will contextualize based on your product and project. The rest of the content, whether it's in black font or red font, will most likely remain the same if you are generating a list of user stories corresponding to a feature. So in these blue font sections, what you will do is explain the context of your project, product, or task. In another part, you will name the feature you want ChatGPT to generate stories for and provide additional context for the product. Only these few sections need updates for reuse in new features. This step, if you map it back to the ChatGPT framework we discussed earlier, falls under the phase where we analyze and understand the task at hand. In this case, the task is to generate a list of user stories from a feature title. Based on that, we have drafted a ChatGPT prompt for this task. So after this, the next step is to run this ChatGPT prompt that we've written, which we will cover in the next video. In this video, you learned how to structure a ChatGPT prompt that transforms a product feature into a set of detailed user stories. Key takeaways include assigning ChatGPT the right role, e.g., product manager, providing clear project and product context, specifying output format, such as including estimates in story points, enforcing agile principles like invest to ensure story quality, setting boundaries like max story points to keep stories sprint friendly. These principles are critical for scalable, agile delivery. This approach not only speeds up user story creation but also boosts consistency across your agile documentation. Use this framework anytime you want quick, structured story output.